I'm an introvert. It might not seem like it because you always see me talking, I'm tweeting, I'm giving my opinion on stuff. But if I don't have time alone, then I go insane. You know, if I'm having to hang out with someone all the time and I don't have hours a day to scroll through my phone and intake information, my thoughts stagnate and I just feel like I start repeating myself and it's too much to handle. I feel like I go insane and it's too much to handle. See how I just repeated myself right there? That's what I'm talking about. I'm not having enough alone time. So how do you have alone time as an entrepreneur? Well, what I like to do is a staycation. When I was living in Vegas, this was super easy. So I had my place in Las Vegas and I'd be living there most days, but sometimes you just want that full reset. And so I would just book a hotel room, either at the Trump, which is one of my favorite hotels in Vegas, or at the Cosmo or whatever. And I would stay there for a couple days, totally alone, take baths in the clean bathtub, order room service from their nice restaurants, and just enjoy life for a while alone. Most of the staycation time, I would also not have my cell phone out and just take some time really to be by myself. And it helps. Whether you're an introvert or not, maybe extroverts would go insane being alone like that. But if you're an introvert at all, this helps a lot for resetting and for feeling who you are, reconnecting. Who are you? Who is it inside there, inside your head? You got to find out by going on a staycation. So how do you make time for yourself? Well, number one is make the time, meaning schedule a couple days for the staycation. You can do it on a weekend, so you don't have to tell your boss that you're taking work off, but you will have to probably tell your girlfriend or your wife to watch the kids or hire a babysitter. I would do a staycation. Honestly, I would do it alone because the whole point is to do this, to reconnect with yourself. So I wouldn't take your spouse with you. I wouldn't take your kids with you on the staycation. That would be missing the point of the staycation, of connecting with yourself. So assign the wife some work, assign the wife to watch. That's so not the right way to say that. Ask the wife to watch the kids or hire a babysitter and then free up some time for yourself. Set the day. Number two is do something that you like. And it doesn't have to just be sitting in a hotel room doing nothing. There might be some things that people in your family don't want you to do, or your friends would never go with you to do. Maybe it's visiting certain countries. I know when I was a kid, my parents really didn't love going anywhere outside of like the Western norms. Like they would go to Paris or Italy or whatever, UK, but they would never go, for instance, to India or anywhere in Africa or the Philippines or any of these countries that I love now that are super fun. They wouldn't go. They'd be too scared. So if I was doing my staycation and I was in that family situation, I might staycation in a country that they wouldn't go to with me. Then I can experience it. Because at the end of the day, do you really want to live your life full of regret? That just because you couldn't find any friends that wanted to go to Japan with you, now you never get to eat sushi in Japan? Like, what kind of life is that? No, you book a flight, you go alone, and you get in touch with yourself. You do the things you want to do. And that includes crazy stuff. You want to go skydiving alone, I guess. I would go. If you wanted somebody to go skydiving with you, you should cover it. But I'll go with you. Just hit me up in the chat below. Any sort of crazy stuff. Skydiving, bungee jumping. You want to spend the day with me? You don't even have to join the mastermind. Just let's do something fun on you. Number three is schedule a lot of no phone time. I'm not saying don't bring your phone on the staycation, but if you really want to get aligned with yourself, you need to limit the external inputs. You need to not be on Twitter, tweeting so much, creating content so much. You need to not be in your email dealing with client back and forth. You need to be able to put the phone down for at least a solid few hours and be with yourself. I used to do a no phone day every week. Usually it was on Sunday. I would just turn my phone off for 24 hours straight and not open it back up. You don't need to be that extreme, but even a couple hours in the morning could change your entire day. So like Sunday morning, instead of looking at your email first thing, you pop the phone off and do whatever comes next. For me, normally I get so bored I gotta leave the house. So I go for like a 3-hour walk after that because I don't have the inputs. But then you get in touch with yourself. And talking about getting in touch with yourself, that brings us to the next point of the what to do during this time alone stuff, which is get in touch with yourself. Ask yourself questions. Am I happy in life? Am I satisfied with where my life is right now? Is this where I thought I would be? And am I happy with this? Is there anything that I would do differently? Is there anything that I should do differently that I'm doing right now? What am I doing right now? Is this effective? Is this getting me to my goals? What are my goals? What do I want to do in the next 5 years? What do I want to do in the next 10 years? These are all questions and conversations that we're afraid to ask ourselves because we're scared of the answers. But in the long term, if you can have these hard conversations with yourself, it's just like any relationship. If you have the hard conversations, you can start working towards a solution, and that works for yourself too. For me, when I do these, I always realize that I'm doing something wrong in my life. Like, for instance, I say I want to make a lot of money, but then when I ask myself, what am I doing to do that? I realize I'm not running any businesses that have the scale necessary to hit the wealth goals that I want to hit. So then I acquire new software companies, or we spin up some companies and we make that happen. But it's only by having those hard conversations with yourself that you're able to even find those improvements. Because most of us walk through life from thing to thing to thing to thing, executing. And if we don't take the time every couple weeks or maybe at least once a month to just step back and see if you're on the right track, then you'll find yourself shifting. The cope sets in, right? Like you say you want to make $1 billion, but all of a sudden now you're okay with 100 million, or you're okay with $1 million, or you're okay making $1,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't check in with yourself, you'll find yourself completely drifting off course until your life looks nothing like the life that you dreamed of. Not even a little. And that's why you need to take that staycation, get aligned with yourself, and figure out, one, if you're on the right track, if you are good, but two, if you're on the wrong track, you got to figure out how you're going to fix it. And it's up to you to fix it. Nobody on YouTube is going to tell you how. Nobody in your family is going to help you. It literally is you alone. Get in touch with yourself and solve your problems. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to smash that like button to encourage this type of content on YouTube. Subscribe for more like this, and I'll talk to you soon. Thanks for watching. I'm Alex Berman.